calls the 10 Commandments of successfully working with artists. Obviously, comics is a very collaborative medium. You cannot make comics without artists, especially if you write. If you can draw already, that is wonderful. You are the belle of the ball. Because as I'm sure as you know, once you let people know that you can draw, lots of other people are going to come looking for you. Like, oh, will you draw my comic? You draw my comic? Suit's going, man, I'm sorry, guys, I can't do it anymore. And if you're a writer and you want to create comics and you want to work with artists, these are probably like the 10 best rules or commandments or guidelines that I could give people that might be interested. And the first one is, thou shalt start small. And I use this analogy. This is actually given to me by a buddy of mine, Jim Riddington, who's lettered almost everything I've ever done in comics. And he uses this analogy, which I credit to him than steal. You wouldn't walk up to the prettiest girl in the bar and ask her to marry you without even knowing her name, would you? I hope not. Then don't do it with an artist whose work you see online and like either. This is a very common mistake a lot of aspiring creators make. They've seen artists whose work they like online and say, hey, I've got this great idea for like this 6-issue miniseries or this, this ongoing series or this, 12 issues or 60 issues or 100 issues or whatever. And I really like you to draw with me. Because you see their art and you think they would be very, very good at this, man. This would be really cool, Someone that draws, what they hear is, that's 5 panels per page, that's 22 pages per issue, and if it is a 5-issue miniseries, that's 110 pictures. That's a lot. But you think of it that way, that's a lot. And if you go up to them and very enthusiastically, hey, you want to draw 110 pictures of this story that's really good? They're going to disappear. And you're like, why don't these artists get back to me? Why can't I find someone that wants to draw stuff with me? The key is to start small. If you see an artist whose work you like online, the internet's a wonderful place. There's all kinds of stuff out there. There's cats wearing bow ties and bulldogs on skateboards. 2 girls, 1 cup, all kinds of stuff. You know what that is, you're horrible, by the way. So, what I did with Nightmare World was I pitched 8-page stories. You figure 5 panels per page, 8 times 5 is, all right, make sure you're with me. And that's 40 pictures, not terrible. And what would happen is, I got all these artists that said 8 pages. I like to draw anyway. That's not bad. We can do something there. And if it works out, maybe you can do something else together. If it doesn't work out, so be it. I've actually been in a situation where I've worked with artists and they completed the work, but for whatever reason, decided maybe it wasn't not worth, that's a very terrible way of saying it, that it wasn't in our mutual best interest to continue to work together. And the flip side, I've actually worked with a lot of the artists. I've worked with the Nightmare World several times, but there are also artists who I've worked with them once or twice, and that was it. Some of them get picked up to do bigger things. We'll talk about that later, but start small. 5 to 8 page short story. Go that route. And then if it works out, you go on a second date, and you go on a third date, and the next thing you know, it goes on and on from there, and you can forge long-term friendships with a lot of these people. They're very talented, which is wonderful.